Okay, here we are at the shop. Get the guys up here. Going to get ready to pull the car off the jig. See how it goes, see what it looks like. Alright, we got it off the jig and we'll see if it flexes at all or what's going on now. We'll go from there. Car's pretty much done. Probably going to start the welding up process today. Take us probably almost all day to weld it up because we'll weld a little bit at a time so it don't warp as bad. We've welded a few spots on it, the ones that gets a lot of welding, like where the dash bar comes in. The upright bar welds in. There's so much welding in that point. If you weld it all at once, it'll cause this bar to warp. If there's any pressure on this, it'll push this out or push that in. So, as you can see, everything's pretty much on it. Rear bumper. Pretty close. We've welded a little bit on it on some of the major spots. Pedal mounts are in. New style bumper. So we're getting pretty close. Probably what we'll do is we'll get it welded up. Get this thing welded up and we will take it off the jig, flip it over and weld what's left on the bottom. Then we'll put it on jack stands and we'll try to figure out how our flex is with this type of tubing that we used. See if we think we have enough flex or if we don't. We'll be able to tell once we set it on the jack stands. And we'll go from there. Well, we got the car flipped over. All we have left to do is weld the bottom side up. So we'll get that welded up and then we'll flip it back over and get it racing out through the powder coat. Okay, we got the car off the jig, so what we'll do now is we will, I'll try to video a little bit of how much the car flexes and the reasons why we built this car and designed it the way that we did. Okay, I don't know if you could see it or not. You can tell somewhat how it flexes. You see in the front we have a little bit of twist, chassis flex. Some of that will go away when you bolt your motor in because you get the mid plate going across. It's just like bolting an X bar, you know, from the right front to the left front, from the left front to the right side. So that will stiffen the frame up a little bit. This thing's pretty much ready to go to the powder coaters. It's all welded up. Everything's on it. We redesigned the seatbelt bar a little bit. We'll have to see how that works. We got the fuel cell in. We'll get the fuel cell cage made. The bar in the top. Stiffen the chassis up a little bit. Try to get slick. Maybe we'll take it out. So this car's pretty much ready. Go to the powder coaters. Next up, we'll be doing a jig's empty. Be doing a modified chassis. We're going to use the Avco front clip for the modified. Probably starting on it. Maybe Saturday we'll start on the rear part of the car. I think we're getting the front clip Monday from Motor State Distributing. Owen's Performance Racing Parts will be picking that up for us. So we'll give you a little bit more rundown what else we got going on here at the shop. Okay, some of the other things we got going on in the shop here. Got Putter's rocket car, Travis. Pretty close. About ready for some sheet metal. They did take their headers and stuff off. They're doing some stuff to the motor. Got all of his bumpers on. Rear bumpers. New deck lid bars. Got his new rear end in. Messing with the alignment on that a little bit. Make sure we get the rods where they need to be. It's coming together pretty good. Of course, the white car covered up. Pretty much ready. And here we have Jonathan's modified from Ohio. Got a little bit of work to do to it, quite a bit actually. Both the front clips knocked over to the passenger side, so we'll have to work on that. It looks like the front end geometry is off a little bit. The roll center, just from looking at it, looks like it's pretty high. With the angle of the uppers. So we'll go through all of his roll center, go through and clean his car up, and just kind of give you a before shot of, you know, what it looks like, and we'll try to do some video on working on this car and what changes we make and what we can find that's wrong with it. Put him some new rear bumper on. Got some work to do on the left rear. Just like any car could be fixed. It's just a matter of going through it and make sure it's right. So we'll go through this thing for Jonathan. Get these bars that's all been up, straightened up. Find out where the front end roll center is. Make sure it's got the right parts on it. Make sure the right heights and everything's where they need to be on that. Okay, so now where we're at, like I said about the new late model we did here. One of the things we do is we don't build a real rigid race car, because if your car's real rigid, you're going to chase shocks and springs all night, or stagger, or setup. It seems like the more flex you have in a car, the more you're not chasing the car all night. You probably go, once you figure out your base setup, you can probably almost go from track to track, unless it's real heavy to real slick, and not change the shock and spring, not even change a rebound, adjustment. We're going to try to prove that on this car. We're not going to run adjustable shocks. We're going to put our shock combination on it of what we know we want, and try to prove that you can race and win races without having triple adjustables, double adjustables, if your car's built right. Get a car that's real rigid, you're going to need triple adjustables and double adjustables, because every time you come in from the racetrack, you're probably going to want to change something because it's no good. Hopefully we can prove that this summer, that it doesn't take all that fancy canistered shocks, changing shocks and springs out. You see people come in, put them on a lift, and they're over there adjusting shocks left and right. You may hit it 10% of the time, but 90% of the time you're adjusting yourself right out of the ballpark. You're better off just to leave it alone. Go to your brake adjustments, your staggers, your simple adjustments. Find your base setup. You got to work to find your base setup and go from there. So we'll get this car to the powder coaters, and then we'll start assembly on it. At the same time, we'll be starting the assembly on the modified that we're going to build. At the same time, we're going to be working on Jonathan's car. So we'll try to get some video of all that stuff that's going on. Travis's car will be about ready for sheet metal, so we'll be on it also. And I'll also, to William, ask for a video on spindles for open motors. I'll get some stuff put together on that. Try to do a little spindle segment on nothing but spindles, the difference of spindles, the degrees and the heights. You know what that does as far as your front end, because that's probably one of the most critical parts of the race car. Probably more critical than the rear end. You got to get in the corner to get off the corner. William, I'll get that done for you. We'll put it on one of these videos. So we'll get this stuff going and racing season's going to be here before we know it. So like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks.